Hey guys, welcome back to another Grim Dawn video of Ashes of Malmoth. As promised, I'm doing an update video on my Death Knight. So I'm progressing pretty well. I haven't died yet, which is awesome. I'm glad. That's what I wanted for this character. And I'm just blowing through things. As always, it's pretty easy. I'm going to be super excited to get this finished and see what it can do. So I'm going to go over the skills, I'll show the devotion that I'm currently using, and then I'll just skim over the items. All this isn't going to be, like I said before, very relative or important in the long term, so I'm not going to go crazy extensively over everything because this is not a finalized build. But anyway, let's get into it. So Fighting Spirit, 5 out of 12 on this. I'm trying to max out this mastery and go for Minhir's Bulwark. Obviously, as I get into Elite and Ultimate difficulty, this is going to be more important. But for going through Veteran, it's not too hard, so I'm grabbing things that boost a lot of offensive ability, all damage. Got 1 point to Warcry still, but I got plus the skill of that. This is really good. I'm going to end up maxing this later on. That's more of a defensive ability. Still 1 point to Blitz. Again, for a 1-pointer, it's amazing. Definitely should use it. I got 4 into Minhir's Will. This is just in case I do get knocked down pretty low. This will save me and restore my health. It's pretty nice. 1 point Overguard. Haven't had to really change this or up this at all. I will later on probably pump this more. 1 point into Veterancy. A little bit extra health regen and Constitution. Maybe not 100% necessary, but you know, more health regen is never bad. Field Command. I still have that 12 out of 12, 1 point into Squad Tactics. I might end up pumping this a little more too because of the all damage percent increase. 3 out of 8 on Scars of Battle. So I did this because I had some gear with Pierce, or not Pierce, but with Stun reduction on it, and I had to swap it out for something else that had more armor and more stats, better stats. So I lost the Stun reduction, so I'm putting points into this, kind of make up for that. And you know, it's really good. You get other beneficial stats out of that as well. 1 point into Counter-Strike. This will probably be boosted later on as well. And I am going to go all the way down and get Minhir's Bulwark eventually. So on the Necromancer side, I did put 1 point into Reaping Strike because I found an item gives +2 to that. So anything that gives you pluses to skill, and it's, you know, in the same category as the damage type that you're running, it doesn't hurt to throw 1 point into it. You know, it's pretty beneficial. Don't have to, but I decided to. It's basically makes my autos a little stronger. Not that I need it really, but it doesn't hurt. Spectral Binding max. Spectral Wrath is max. So I'm focusing more so on Vitality as I transition into Elite. The reason I'm doing that is because a lot of the items that I'm going to be able to start using at 50 to like 75, they do a lot of Vitality retaliation on the items themselves on top of this. And it's not Vitality retaliation per se. It's the same. It works just like Spectral Wrath. It's Vitality return. So anything that hits me, it'll do, you know, Contagion or like Vitality or Bleed, and some of the items even heal you through that Vitality damage they deal. So 16 out of 16 Ravenous Surf, still max that. 10 out of 12 on Decay. That's with plus to skills. This is a really good skill, like I said before. This synergizes perfectly with this setup. This with Warcry, you know, reduces a lot of enemy damage. So it's an offensive defensive skill. It's really nice. So the whole setup is kind of like that. It's really strong offensively, but it's well supported defensively too. It's really good synergy. So then Siphon Soul, 12 out of 12. You can see the Vitality damage that's doing 2230. It's pretty damn good. As far as Devotion goes, as you know, I took Bat, threw that on Ravenous Earth. Took Scorpion, put that on the Siphon Souls. Came over here and I grabbed Crane. This gives you really nice resistances. And it also reduces spirit requirement for weapons. And I did actually end up pumping 10 spirit into this character as I was leveling. And I'll talk about that here in a minute to show you why. Came up here, grabbed Eel. And then I had 1 point into the Crossroads here in the yellow Crossroads. Took it out, and then I put the rest of my points into Dryad. So Dryad's actually not bad at all. You get energy regeneration out of it, which is nice. Get bonus health, physique, energy, poison acid resist. This is one of the most important things in my opinion. The 20% reduction in poison duration, 20% reduction in bleeding duration. So because we're not running the shaman side of the tree, you don't have the reduction in basically 2 of those dot categories. So that's really useful in my opinion. Get a 5% bonus to spirit. You know, spirit requirement for weapons and jewelry is decreased. And then we get Dryads Blessing. And this is a 100% chance on attack if you equip this to your Blitz. And it's really good. So anytime I use Blitz and I hit somebody, it heals me. It heals me for quite a bit. So it heals you for 6% of your health, and then it heals you for 324 health every second. It's just like a continuous heal. It's pretty cool. And then as you can see, it boosts your poison reduction and bleed reduction even higher. So when that's active, you're actually getting... I'm getting 44% reduction right now on those debuffs. And it's, like I said, it's really good. And as you transition into the end game, even in Veteran, you start facing a lot of bleed and poison. So this is just perfect for that. And so I highly recommend taking that. Came over here and I grabbed Scales of Ukama, Scales of Ukama. And again, getting health energy, health regeneration, always good. Health movement speed, energy regeneration, right? So I'm kind of becoming quite literally a tank, basically like a tank caster hybrid. And the energy regeneration is useful. It's not useless, so it's really good. And then you get all damage, 20 physique, so again, right up the alley of the category I'm in. And then I went for tip the skill, so I have a 20% chance when I'm hit to return vitality damage to enemies, and then 93% of that damage is converted into health. And it also has energy leech as well. So that's actually pretty good. So more or less, I'm going to be vamping energy from enemies as well as vamping life with this. That's pretty awesome. So again, this isn't retaliation damage. This is actual vitality damage that's dealt to an enemy when they hit you. There's a big difference and it's kind of weird. But this will actually get boosted by % vitality damage on gear. And as you can see, I'm starting to go lizard. I'm going to max out lizard. And as I transition, into the end game, I'm probably going to go for Aeon's Hourglass. That's probably going to be one of the next things I go for. And that will be in my finalized build as well. One of the main reasons being that you get the 6 seconds to all currently active skill cooldowns. So what this ends up doing is it basically allows you to spam your Siphon Souls and everything else way more often. It's going to be really useful. But I'll get into all that later. Okay, so briefly going over gear. A lot of this gear is stuff that I have picked up. This I transferred over from my stash. I hang on to stuff like this because I think it's a really good, piece of armor for level 50. As you can see, get the bonus vitality, vitality decay, health, physical resist, aether resist. Excuse me, aether resist, which was really important. I needed that desperately, so I was really happy to get that. 43% reduction in bleeding duration. So as you can see, I'm never going to bleed with all the Dryad and everything. It's really important out in Ugnbunk because you do run into a lot of bleed. And these mobs start to get a lot more beefy and a lot more durable. So anything that can reduce their damage or their capabilities is really nice. And then we have Contagion. That's a 100% chance when I'm hit to spread Contagion to enemies. And as you can see, it does vitality damage and vitality decay. Very good. Here we have the Chthonian Thread Sash. Same concept. Get some vitality damage on it. And then it has a 5% chance to do a Vitality Nova and heal me whenever I'm being hit. I upgraded my Ivory Talisman to the 2nd tier. So how you get better versions of this is basically you do that quest I was talking about. You do it in Veteran, you do it in Elite, and you can also do it in Ultimate. And when you do, if you lie and collect the Talisman, you only have to do it once, really, because then you can transfer between characters. But every time you do, you get a better version than the previous one. So this is the Elite version. As you can see, I get a 300% to all damage increase, as well as a massive energy increase. And then you actually get 2% offensive ability out of it and 8% to all damage on top of the 5% cunning, spirit, and physique bonus. So yeah, this, like I said, this is a very good talisman. And if you're like a beginner, you're starting out in this game and trying to get through the game, I would recommend getting this because it is a very good talisman that you don't have to craft. That's not going to eat through a lot of your resources. Here we go again. 3 to decay there. Got some bonus resist. These boots are actually really good. Descator treads. All damage, vitality damage, offensive ability. 2 to Reaping Strike. That's where I got that Reaping Strike. Good for what I'm doing right now. So this has Aether damage on it. The reason I took this for now is just because it had a lot more armor than my previous gloves. My previous gloves had like 300 armor. Same as a lot of this gear. This has Vitality, Aether, Vitality Decay, so that actually was right up my alley. I was like, that's pretty solid, so I'll take it. Still using this shield. Hopefully I'll get a new one soon. I did manage to get a new ring. I think this is new. This ring, I found this, so it has Vitality, Aether damage, Vitality Decay, health regeneration. Here's the helm, and here's the amulet I'm using. Dismember Stone. So this is actually pretty good too. Vitality, Aether, Vitality Decay, 35% Vitality damage converted to Aether damage. Doesn't really, it's not terrible. I mean, I'm doing both damage types, not a big deal. Bleed resist 3 to decomposition, and you can see the components I'm using. So one thing that is important on the components, guys, is I did switch these. As you get like towards Act 4 boss, which is Logharan, I think his name is, the previous final boss before Ashes of Malmuth, I would highly recommend switching to Imbued Silver and Purified Salt in your main and offhand. It doesn't matter which one you do, but it provides you with this buff here, Aether Ward, and it also gives you Void Ward. So these two together gives you a Aether resist and a 20 Chaos resist. And that's really important because those are some of the harder resistances to stack before 70. Because at level 70 you start to use the augments that go into your gear that let you pump resistances from the factions. You can't use that until way later, so it's very, very important, I think, that you do this if you're trying to, like I said before, not die and survive. But they actually provide really good stats as is. You can see on the Purified Salt, you get defensive ability, life leech resistance, bonus damage to ethereals and aether corruption, so you are getting damage out of it. That's a 15% damage increase to a lot of important mobs in this game. A lot of the in-game mobs are ethereal, so it's very important. Same thing with the imbued silver, defensive ability, bleed resist, and bonus damage to chthonics. So it's all good stuff. Talked about all that. Let's get into some gameplay and show you how this build is going. Again, not struggling really at all. Sorry, just woke up. Have allergies in the morning. And again, I mean, there's pretty much nothing to it. Now, keep in mind, these guys are a lot more durable than the mobs I was fighting in yesterday's video. So the speed at which I'm killing these is actually really good, even though it may not seem like it's as fast. Yeah, because everything pre-Ashes of Malmoth, I was just literally one-shotting and ripping through, and then I got here, and, you know, as these mobs scale and get later into the game, they're a lot more durable and a lot more tough, a lot more HP. But I mean, you know, they still go down pretty quick. So we have a quest over here. I'm afraid it's going to be on that other side. That's right, though. I'll just continue on to kill stuff. I believe there's a boss down here in this cave. So you see a lot of poison damage going off there. There's a lot of bleed damage going off here. Every time I blitz, you know, I'm getting healed. I'll show you that here in a second. It's actually this buff right here. You can see it pop up. Dryads Blessing. So basically, every time I charge in and hit something, I'm getting a huge poison bleed, duration reduction, and getting healed constantly. And like I said, it synergizes perfectly with this setup. That blitz is silly how much damage that does for a one-pointer. You can see my autos. My autos are actually pretty good with that Reaping Strike. It's not bad. It is a chance to proc on hit, but you know, still very good. And again, as you level it, the chance becomes much greater. I actually ran into, on my Caballas one time when I was playing through, I ran into the Nemesis Beast boss down in here, and that was miserable. Because the Cabala struggles against that boss as is, but I literally had nowhere to run or go. I guess you can see like you're on these little like narrow paths and planks and stuff. I was like, yeah, it was a rough fight. I did end up killing him, but I had to kite and fight for a very long time.
Can't do that yet.
Got a heroic here. So keep in mind on the Bone Talisman, if you don't need to use it for the energy regeneration too often, try to save it for heroics and bosses because you're getting that 300% damage increase when it's active. That's one of the reasons why I did the video the way I did, because I wanted to show you guys, you know, these are all things that you can easily do. I didn't go and craft any relics. I didn't use anything that I, you know, have made myself or really found outside of what I'm using now. I think I have one item right now that I transferred over that I didn't find, which is the chest armor. And the reason I say that is because I did transfer over the Death Omen, but I did find one while I was doing this playthrough. Death Omen again, 100% chance when hit to do a vitality damage to the enemy. Reduces the health and defensive ability and total speed of the enemy as well. So dropping their defensive ability is actually really good because that increases your chances of landing hits, you know, and crits actually. So stacks really well with me boosting my offensive ability. Yeah, whatever. Have enough of those components anyway. Okay. Alright, so we have a boss here. Now I'll activate my bone talisman. That guy actually hurts pretty good. Just gonna get my heal going. There we go. And that's it. Pretty much all there is to it. See if I found anything decent. No, nothing I can use really. But yeah, guys, that's about it. I do stream. I stream daily, or I try to at least. I shouldn't say I stream daily. I try to stream daily. I'm not so great about it sometimes with family and whatnot. Can't always do it, but I try to. I'll try to come up with a schedule maybe, and that way it'll give you guys times of when I'm doing it. But after this video, I will be streaming. If you haven't checked out my stream, please come check it out. I have people come in there and hang out. I played with some people last night that I met through YouTube and Twitch, and we were doing crucibles together. It was a lot of fun. I'd also like to give a shout out to Josh. He's another YouTuber. He's a really nice guy. He's got a lot of interesting takes on builds as well, and I'll leave a description in the link below. I'll put his link on his YouTube. He's got a Death Knight build that he's working on as well, and he takes a little bit of a different approach than I do. And if you guys want to take his approach to it on how to level and stuff, I'll totally share that information. Like I said, he's a very nice guy. He's got a lot of cool content. I really like watching his stuff personally, so I'll leave a link in the description below. And I'll leave my Twitch down below as well. It's Mordecai Mike. Mordecai Mike. It's underscore between the Mordecai and the Mike on Twitch at twitchtv.com. But anyway, guys, thank you for taking the time to watch my videos. As always, I appreciate it. If you liked, please like. If you haven't subscribed, it helps me out. And I hope to produce more great content for you guys. In the future, I do want to go over stats in the game and how they work, so that, going to be like life leech, armor, percent damage reduction, percent pierce, flat pierce, all that information. I'm going to go over all that and try to help you guys understand how all those things work. But if you do have any questions about those things, do not be afraid to ask. Alright guys, thanks for watching and take care.